let's try to kind of break it down. First, you've got a culture that is raised on social media. And in that culture, there is social comparison, there is validation seeking, there is wanting desperately to stand out, to be seen, to be heard, to be accepted, to be validated. And in doing so, there's this promotion, as you said, this reward of victim status as a way of being distinctive, as a way of differentiation, as a way of gaining support, of gaining praise, of gaining some type of social validation and social reward. Okay, so now you've been rewarded for your victim status. Because you've been rewarded by that victim status, you start to identify as the victim status. You don't just suddenly go, okay, that's great. I was a victim then, and now I'm not a victim anymore. Cool. No, the socialization is kicked in. So now you start to identify and build a foundation with this victim status. And in the victim status, there's always the oppressor, the perpetrators, the ones who have done this to me. And forgiveness is such a huge part of that. You need to, the true victims, you forgive yourself and say, look, there was nothing I could do about this. There has to be self-forgiveness, and it's usually healthy, maybe not in all circumstances, but in a lot of circumstances, to eventually forgive the person, people, or group that was a part of that for your own health, for your own mental health. If there's no forgiveness and the lens by which you see the world is a negative place where you're angry and you're upset by this whole thing, even if you're getting social reward, you're still coming from a place of anger and negativity. That's what Jonathan was talking about with this negative CBT. You are training your mind to look at the world with negativity. And that cognitive behavioral effect then is, eventually you train to develop permanence in how you see the world. Now, when you're looking at the world in a negative state, as I mentioned with well-being and the research on well-being, the world becomes a scary, dark, negative place. And you become more angry, and you become more impulsive, and you become more difficult to deal with. And there's more rage, and there's less ability to attract positivity, attract opportunities, attract deep relationships, because you're in that state. And then all sorts of things kick in: depression, worry, loneliness, all that stuff kicks in after that, and it just spirals.